Okay guys, so this is pretty much the layout for how I modified the Karcher. If you pull out the actual core of the Karcher, the K2 or whatever you may have, this is what it actually looks like. So, and the thing with Karcher is that Karcher wants to have a monopoly over the parts that they sell, which makes it difficult for you because at times the parts that they do sell are, they're really expensive. At least on our side of the world here in Mexico, things are really expensive and they're not really worth what what you're going to be end up paying for it. I went and got this entire hose here for like, I don't know, I would say about $55 for the entire hose. With the tips, it came out to about $65 for everything. Whereas with Karcher, just the hose, and you wouldn't need the ends, but just the hose would cost me about $75 Mexican pesos. And so for me, it's a cheaper way. It's a longer hose. This is a 20-meter hose. Karcher, I believe, only does sell 20-meter hoses, but they go up in price exponentially. And since you do have to buy all their adapters, for me, that was pretty much the reason why I decided just to modify it. So since this is the core of the Karcher unit, I went up and took off this piece here, which is what connects the actual pressure side to the little electric motor it's got here. And so I cut the piece off. I should have probably left it on there before I made the video as I cut it, but I ended up cutting this piece. And then I went out and I got a 1/4-inch tap and die set. So if you know Karcher, this is what their tips look like. This is what they, you pretty much have to be a slave to this. But since I didn't want to do that, I went and got a tap and a die, a 1/4-inch tap and die set. And I made the threads for this here. And then I put the universal quick connect end on there, and so then you just put it up on here again, and so that's going to be at least on the pressure side, that is what it is. So and the rest of it is just history, right? You can pretty much put the rest of the hose here and then adapt the regular high pressure hose gun on it. I did keep the foamer here. This is what it normally looks like. I had two of these machines, so this is what it normally looks like. And if you can see, you would be able to tell where more or less I cut the end of it here. And then again, I took the tap and I made the 1/4-inch threading in there, and I put the adapter on there. This way I wouldn't have to, deal with Karcher anymore, trying to buy their parts. If anything, it would just be replacement parts for this. I don't have a car wash business or anything like that. This is mainly just for home use. And when it's all said and done, I'm gonna mount everything up on this stainless steel cart that I have here. I'm gonna go ahead and change the wheels out on that later on. But that's the plan, is to have both the vacuum and the, vacuum for vacuuming our cars, and the entire pressure washing system on there. And the reason I did this is because we did, we went and washed our car at one of the local car washes here, and they ended up scratching our car. And so after that, I was like, nope, I'm gonna wash our cars from now on. And so I needed to find a way to modify this, because every time I would set it up, I would have the side to feed the pressure washer. So I had the hose dragging out, and then I had the pressure side also dragging on the floor, and then I had the electrical also dragging on the floor. And so that made things, I'd get tangled up. Everything would be just tangled up on the floor, and then I had to pick everything up. So really, my point is to eventually mount this here on the very bottom down here, so that any water dripping doesn't actually fall on any of the hose reels that I'm going to be ending up making for this, for both the vacuum hose and also for the pressure and feeder hoses. So everything's going to be on here. Like I said, I'm going to put the three or four hose reels on here, because I do need the electric line as well connecting in here, as well as a water supply tank and a vacuum tank. So everything's gonna be up on here. Like I said, this is for home use. I don't really want to have everything dragging out every time I wash my cars, and so this is how I've adapted it up to this point.